Hello there, people of the internet. So I recently got some stuff in, and I figured I'd go ahead and put up my camera, go over what it is that I got, and today we're actually looking at an upper that I got from PSA. So I have a fair amount of ARs. I think I got like three that I show off on the YouTube channel, but I got maybe 9 of them, and they're all set up for their own purposes and whatnot. And this particular one is going to be a YouTube channel AR. I wanted to go ahead and make myself an AR build just because there's certain things that I want set up with this particular AR. So my only 20-inch barrel that I have is this. This is my M16 inspired build. This is definitely a retro rifle. I get it's not an exact clone of an M16, but this is a retro rifle. It's got a 1 in 10 twist barrel. There's certain things that I can do with this rifle, but certain things that I can't. There's a lot that I can do with this rifle, but it's an old school style of design, and that's on purpose. So although I really like this rifle, I wanted to go ahead and get myself something a little bit more modern going on. My optic here, this is a 4-power optic, 4x20, but I'm going to go ahead and get myself an LPVO for my next rifle build with a 6-power on it, just because I can't really see all that well, and having that extra zoomage would really help out. Like that thing right there, I've made some pretty long shots with that 4-power scope, but it's difficult to see some things. So rather than go out and get myself a more powerful scope for the M16, I just decided to go ahead and make myself a more modern style of build. All of my ARs that I have are 16-inch, and I've got all sorts of things set up, well, besides that 20-inch right there, I got all sorts of things set up for all sorts of different reasons. My normal go-to AR for most of my AR purposes is this right here. This is my Delton DTI, and it's got a 16-inch barrel. It's got a heavy barrel on it, and it's got a 1 in 9 twist barrel, and I did that because I mostly fire 55 and 62 grain full metal jackets, and that 1 in 9 twist causes really good tumbling whenever I shoot at things from really far away. So I try to stick with shooting actual 5.56 ammo because I use 16-inch barrels, and 223 tends to be a good 150 feet per second slower than 5.56, and whenever we're talking about a 16-inch barrel, that's already a slower velocity than the 20-inch barrel that 5.56 is supposed to be sent through, so that's significantly lower velocity. That being said, I don't really shoot out past 300 yards anyway, so we are still well within the realms of what basically any ammo would do from that 16-inch barrel. But that right there being a 1 in 9 twist barrel, it has served me extraordinarily well. I have just used the absolute hell out of that Delton. That thing's probably got a good, I don't know, 8,000 rounds on it, give or take. Maybe 9,000 rounds at this point. It's been fun. Mostly 223, so we haven't had a whole lot of wear on that rifle in comparison to like 5.56 wear. But I've gotten my use out of it. Whenever I go shooting heavier bullets, I have this right here. This is a Radical Firearms RF-15, and this has a 1 in 7 twist barrel. I don't really shoot heavier bullets all that often, but I'm going to start doing that. So my new upper is actually also a 1 in 7 twist barrel because I'm going to start getting into 77 grain bullets. I normally just go out and get like the cheapest bottom of the barrel 55 and 62 grain rounds that I can find. But I'm going to start doing some long range shooting, like past 300 yard style of shooting. And that 20-inch barrel with its extra velocity and the heavier weight of those 77 grain bullets are just going to yield themselves to being better for this particular role with this particular rifle. But I want to set up this rifle to be as good as possible on a relative budget, but still be a good general purpose rifle. The idea is that I'll be able to touch out to farther distances with this rifle than I can with most of my other ARs, but still maintain the capabilities of having a general purpose rifle. And that is why I went out and got myself this upper. So this upper, it is a 20-inch upper, and this is actually my first time seeing it. Pull it right out of the box here. Oh Oh boy, that is shiny and clean and very neat. So there's a couple of things I'm planning on doing with this. It's got itself a zip tie on it right here. No bolt carrier or no bolt carrier group or charging handle, and that's fine because I'm actually going to go out and get myself a nickel boron bolt carrier group and probably a fairly decent charging handle versus one that is just standard mil spec. So with this, I'm going to get an LPVO, and I'm going to get some offset irons. Either that, or I'm going to get a Picatinny rail for the LPVO that'll flip out of the way so I can use irons. Because offset irons, they're okay, but they're not great. Like with regular irons, I can touch out to probably about 200 yards. But with offset irons, man, it's hard to smack a target at 100 yards with that. So this right here, this is a heavier barrel than my other M16 build here. This right here is a pencil barrel. This entire M16 weighs about 6 pounds. That's everything. Now, that's minus magazine and ammunition. But that whole thing weighs about 6 pounds. I wanted to go ahead and go with a little bit heavier barrel if I need a nice lightweight rifle. I got it right there. This right here is heavier because I intend to shoot at longer ranges, and so I need a little bit more accuracy with what it is that I'm doing. That 1 in 7 twist, again, I intend to fire heavier bullets through this particular rifle. LPVO and irons on this particular rifle are going to serve me really well. Let's go ahead and have a look at the rifling inside this, because why not? Oh yeah, that's nice and shiny and brand spanking new. Man, that is cool. I'm also going to pull this standard A2 flash hider off of this because I had a muzzle brake custom made that I'm going to put onto this rifle. I think that this is going to be a really sweet little setup. Not that a muzzle brake really matters with 5.56, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to. So this is just kind of the setup that I'm going to be using. I think that this is a 15-inch M-LOK handguard. Clearly we have a Picatinny rail along the top. This right here is a full-length gas system though. So I definitely have to set up my rifle for a full-length gas system because most of your lower receivers come already set up with a carbine length buffer system inside of it. So you got to pay attention to what it is that you're using and what it is that you're going to do. Otherwise you're going to have a rifle that's not all that reliable. You know what, just for fun, maybe I'll see if I can piece this together with just something I have laying around. As a matter of fact, this M16, I probably could just throw this smack dab on that KP-15 lower because it's got a rifle length system inside of it. I don't know. I'll debate on it, I'll play with it, but ultimately I am going to build this out to be its own individual rifle, and I think it's going to be pretty gosh darn spectacular. So, thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't or mainstream.